not just a smile, it changes their person's total outlook.
At Clear Choice, we understand that your dental health impacts your total health.
Doing the best for your own personal health is what's important.
Schedule your free consultation today. We'll even talk about financing options. Call Clear Choice today.
Roma and the DOJ. Drake County reacts to Trump's calls for action. Plus, pushing the president's buttons. Will the media let up over his nuclear tweets? Answers on Media Buzz.
Coming up, the Winter Olympics in South Korea just a month away, and North Korea might be playing its own game with the rest of the world. Is Kim Jong-un using the Olympics to get what he wants? We debate, you decide.
Do you use catheters? Are you using the catheter that's really best for you?
Oh, yeah. For years, I've been using one kind of catheter, and I never knew that there were other really great catheters available until Liberator sent me samples to try. If I had not tried the samples from Liberator, I might never have found the perfect catheter for me. Liberator Medical sent me a catheter that was easier for me to use right out of the packaging. I even use them in my airplane and carry 4 or 5 and can be gone for a whole day. And now that I've found the best catheter for me, it's made my life much easier.
There are so many innovative catheters. Get the best catheter for you. Call Liberator Medical, a CR Bard company. Get your free catheter sample pack. Call 1-800-973-1970. 1-800-973-1970.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas?
His big hurts.
More like the big hug. Wow, Frank Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. You look like you could still be playing. That's what I said.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner.
So, Frank, what's your secret? I discovered Nugenics.
I wish my husband did.
It's easy. Just send a text. If you're a guy over 40, text 42424 and enter the word STAR to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenics is a unique man-boosting formula powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help boost your free testosterone levels, to help you feel stronger, leaner, with more energy and drive, more passion too. Here, try a bottle, and trust me, she'll like it too. Text 42424 and enter STAR to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Samples are not available in stores, so text 42424 and enter STAR.
Live from America's News headquarters in Washington, good Saturday morning to you. I'm Leland Vitters. We are learning more about the wall as the Trump administration is providing new details on that signature campaign promise for a wall along the southern border. The president asking Congress for $18 billion over 10 years as a way to expand the current barrier. The plan includes more than 700 miles of new fences and replacing existing barriers. And a Fox News alert as we are awaiting the president himself. He is at Camp David, has been meeting with congressional leaders to talk about the year ahead, infrastructure, the wall funding, DACA, keeping the government open. We can expect the president to speak to reporters in the next couple of minutes. Coverage of that as it happens. I'm Leland Vitter, back with Jillian Turner at the top of the hour. Now back to Cashing In.
As worries mount about safety at the upcoming Winter Olympics in South Korea next month, North Korea agreeing to hold talks with South Korea next week. And while this all seems like a nice gesture on the face of it, some worry this is part of Kim Jong-un's plan to use the games to blackmail his rivals. Gary, Olympic truces, yes, no, work, no.
Look, there's 28,501 reasons North Korea is doing this. We have 28,500 soldiers right there. Tired of throwing away your hard-earned cash to your cable team? Acting correctly. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I think he's trying to put a little fissure between the U.S. and South Korea. I don't think it's going to work. And just remember, this guy is not just threatening the U.S., he's threatening the world.
Jerry, wouldn't be the first time. You know that Putin in Russia used the Sochi Winter Olympics in 2014 to annex an entire region of Ukraine.
Well, you make a very good point, and I think there's reason to be concerned. A lot of people have forgotten that way back in 1987, North Korea agents
bombed a Korean air flight, killing everybody on board as a way of disrupting the Olympics in South Korea. So there's reason to be concerned. I think we should open the door, but you have to be super careful with this, in my view. Rachel. I think the president deserves credit for this small gesture of peace on the part of North Korea to South Korea. Believe me, if they were acting more belligerently right now, he would be getting the blame. So I think he deserves some credit, because the only thing that's changed up is we now have a president who's talking tough and following it up with action. Jessica, let me guess, you don't believe Kim Jong-un when he says, oh, kumbaya.
No, never. I think that if we have max sanctions on this country, then they shouldn't be able to play with us, literally, at the Olympics. And this isn't like when Russia doesn't participate, where there will always be an asterisk next to those games because there weren't athletes of that caliber participating. North Korea has won a good amount of medals, 54, but we don't need them, and they shouldn't get to hang with us at that level.
Coming up, where someone here says it'll be the Democrats who will prevent a government shutdown in 2 weeks.
Omni Henna Intimates has pro skin technology designed to quickly wick away moisture to help maintain your skin's natural balance. For a free sample, call 1-877-GET-TENNA.
Mayhem, what are you doing up there?
I'm a lightning rod waiting to protect your home from a lightning strike. It's my New Year's resolution.
Whatever. Can you do my plane?
Yeah, I don't do planes. I just do lightning.
Peeling hard-boiled eggs is such a hassle. It takes forever and makes such a mess. Now make hard-boiled eggs the fast and easy way. Introducing Egglets, the new silicone sensation that lets you cook hard-boiled eggs without the shell. Just crack open the egg into the Egglets pod, twist on the top, and boil on your stovetop. In minutes, pop them out of the pod for perfect hard-boiled eggs. No hassle, no mess. The secret is the thermodynamic non-stick silicone material that allows the egg to cook just like it would inside the shell. No broken egg whites and no peeling. Now that's appealing. Make delicious deviled eggs, tasty egg salad, make a mouth-watering chef salad without ever peeling an egg. Crack, boil, and pop with Egglets for perfect hard-boiled eggs forever and make such a mess. Now make hard-boiled eggs the fit for delicious omelets. Make an egg white omelet or use egg substitutes for healthy cholesterol-free food. Create fun-filled breakfast the little ones will love. Make Egglets in advance and store in the fridge. Ideal for breakfast on the go or a power-packed snack. Easy to clean, dishwasher-safe Egglets. Don't waste your time picking and peeling hard-boiled shells. Now just crack, boil, and pop with Egglets for perfect hard-boiled eggs without the hassle. Get your trio of Egglets for just $14.99. But wait, call now and we'll double your offer and give you 3 more Egglets absolutely free. With your order, you'll get the Egglets recipe guide. That's 6 Egglets and the recipe guide for only $14.99. And in this exclusive TV offer, you'll get the microwave egg cooker to make on-the-go egg muffins in just minutes. You get it all for $14.99. So don't wait. Order today.
To order your Egglets, call 1-800-713-6135. That's 1-800-713-6135. Or you can visit online at getegglets.com. That's getegglets.com. Don't delay. Call or click today.
CoQ10 is the #1 cardiologist-recommended supplement for people taking cholesterol-lowering statin drugs. Qunol, with 3 times better absorption than regular CoQ10, has the #1 cardiologist-recommended form of CoQ10. Qunol, the better CoQ10. Fox News continues to be wherever you are. With brand new apps for Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire, you'll never miss an episode. Live or on your own time. Your favorite shows are always within your reach. Download now and never miss an episode of Fox News Channel.
Welcome back. It's time for Fox on the Spot. Rachel, it's your turn. All right, Donald Trump is delivering hugely for minorities, and that's a huge difference from his predecessor. I think these economic gains that minorities are making under the Trump economy are going to help Donald Trump win a lot more of them over in the next election. Jessica.
Really low, Garth.
Fucking commercial.
Hey guys, welcome to Toro. This is Carlos once again. Follow me, please.
Kiss my ass,
this
Carlos.
round of the spending bill in order to avoid that shutdown.
Jerry, let's focus on the good news. I see individual investors partaking in this market after we hit 25,000. You're going to start seeing them tiptoeing in. It's going to be good news for the markets. Oh, I like that one. Gary.
Gold miners, GDX, good 10 to 15% over the next few months.
This is on top of the oils and metals and mining I gave out in the last couple of weeks. I think we have the commodities 2018 year.
Commodities, there you go. Stocks, commodities, it's starting off well for 2018. I want to say thanks to our Cashin and crew, and thank you so much for joining us. That will do it for the Cost of Freedom business blog on this, at least on the Eastern Seaboard, frigid weekend. Have a great one. I'll see you on Fox Business Network weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern.
It is a Saturday White House tweet storm. Today, President Trump takes on his critics, questioning his sanity this morning by tweeting that his two greatest assets are his mental stability and being, like, really smart. We're live at the White House.
And showdown over the wall. Fox News alert, as now the president, you can see, walking out at Camp David. Behind him, congressional leadership that he's been meeting with over the past couple of days. The president's set to address that among some other issues before heading back to the White House. Let's listen in.
Camp David, a very special place. We started, as you know, yesterday afternoon. We had a couple of incredible meetings. It's a feeling here that you don't have in very many places. There was a bonding. There was got a lot of work done, a lot of great work for the people. Security discussed, infrastructure discussed, military and all types of military situations and applications discussed. General Mattis is here. General Kelly. A lot of good military input, very important. Discussed funding for the military, which is so important. We also obviously went into budget, so we went into DACA and how we're going to do, and we hope that we're going to be able to work out an arrangement with the Democrats. I think it's something that they'd like to see happen.
That's wishful thinking right
it's
there.
Something certainly that I'd like to see happen. So we are very well prepared for the coming year. We finished very strong. One of the things we are discussing very powerfully is drugs pouring into this country and how to stop it, because it's at a point over the last number of years, it's never been like this. We've never had a problem with drugs like we did, whether it's opioid or drugs in the traditional sense. It's never been like it is, and we are going to do everything we can. It's a very difficult situation, difficult for many countries, not so difficult for some, believe it or not. They take it very seriously, and they're very harsh, and those are the ones that have much less difficulty. But we are going to be working on that very, very hard this year, and I think we're going to make a big dent into the drug problem. With that, I think what I'll do is ask Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to say a few words, and I'll have Paul Ryan, and we'll perhaps, you'll have some questions for some of the folks. We have a great group of talent, and I will tell you the meetings again were really perhaps transformative in certain ways. We're doing things, and we have things planned for next year. One of the things Mitch said, and he said it very well, was it's going to be tough to beat the year we just left, because what we had last year was something very special, especially to cap it off with the tremendous tax cuts and tax reform. And don't forget Anwar, and don't forget the fact that the individual mandate, such a horrible thing for so many people, was terminated. So it's very, very tough. But I'd like to ask Mitch, come up, say a few words, please.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. As you suggest, last year would be a tough year to top. If you are like those of us here at the podium, you'd like to see America be a right-of-center country. From a right-of-center point of view, 2017 was the most consequential year in the many years that I've been here in Congress. The president's spectacular nominee for the Supreme Court, 12 circuit judges, the most in the first year of any president since the circuit court system was set up in 1890, not to mention deregulation, and then topping it all with a consequential boost to our economy through this tax reform bill was an assumption. But it's time to look forward. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for all of us. We had a great planning session for 2018. that 2018 will be a year of more bipartisan cooperation with the President's agenda, much of which he just referred to, are things that we believe there'll be a significant number of Democrats interested in helping us accomplish. And so, Mr. President, thanks for the opportunity to be here about the new year and ready to get to work. Thank you.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for inviting us here to Camp David. I'm particularly pleased with an extremely productive conversation with the President and his team yesterday. How we go forward in 2018. We have big things to do for the American people. We're excited about getting to work on that. As both the President and the leader said, we had historic achievements in 2017 that we want to build on. Historic achievements that we believe will get our economy growing. And what we want to work on in 2018 is making sure everyone enjoys the economic growth that's to come. We have people in society that need to get out of poverty and into the workforce. So we want to focus on making sure that that skill gap, that opportunity gap, so that everyone can get the opportunity and the career that they can get in this country, that have their potential. We've got issues for sure that we want to attend to. We want to make sure that Secretary Mattis and our military have the tools and the resources that they need to keep us safe. So we have a very bold agenda for 2018. We think this agenda is one that will appeal to everyone in between Democrats and Republicans, independents. And so we're excited about the progress that's already been made, and we're very excited about what we have for us for 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Mr. President. 2018 is a year of extraordinary accomplishment. And the congressional leaders who are gathered here were incredible partners with this president and our entire administration in advancing the interests of the American people. Rebuilding our military, supporting law enforcement, historic regulatory reform, appointments to our courts to uphold the rule of law and the Constitution from the Supreme Court to courts at every level, and of course historic tax reform, repealing the Obamacare mandate and opening up American energy from Alaska to around the globe. The President's policies have been achieving extraordinary results. Nearly 2 million new jobs created, unemployment at a 17-year low, the economy is already growing at a pace that most economists have predicted for years, 3%, and we're looking to exciting conditions for 2018. But as the President said, at the close of 2017, the President convened the congressional leadership of our cabinet to outline the President's priorities for the coming year. Those include a budget agreement, an investment in our military to truly rebuild and make the strongest military in the world even stronger still. Immigration reform and enforcement, the construction of a wall and border security, as well as dealing with what the President just said with the issue of DACA. There are opportunities after our discussions this weekend for bipartisan agreement on a broad range of issues, from infrastructure to workforce to vocational education. And I can say I'm even more confident after this weekend's discussion that with the President's leadership and with the strong leadership in the Congress, we're going to keep delivering for the American people in 2018, and we're going to create a stronger and more prosperous America.
Thank you very much, Mike. Any questions for the group? Yes.
Mr. President, I think you already mentioned here of welfare reform. Is that something that is still on the agenda for today?
We are looking at it. It's a subject that's very dear to our heart. We'll try to do something in a bipartisan way. Otherwise, we'll be holding it for a little bit later. But
I don't think anybody realizes why Trump has these guys come up here after he says stuff, have them come up behind him. They say the same shit. He's getting them to physically say it. So they're kind of committed to it, but these people don't give a shit. They've had all these years to do all this stuff, and they ain't even got none of it ready to do because they ain't been planning to do it.
Billions and billions of dollars, became one of the top business people, went to television, and for 10 years was a tremendous success, as you probably have heard. Ran for president one time and won. And then I hear this guy that does not know me, doesn't know me at all. By the way, did not interview me for he said he interviewed me for 3 hours in the White House. It didn't exist, okay? It's in his imagination. And what I was heartened by, because I talk about fake news and the fake news media, was the fact that so many of the people that I talk about in terms of fake news actually came to the defense of this great administration and even myself because they know the author and they know he's a fraud. And when I saw some of the people say, and you look at some of his past books, he did a book on Rupert Murdoch. It was a terrible expose and it was false. So much of it was false. I consider it a work of fiction. And I think it's a disgrace that somebody's able to have something, do something like that. The libel laws are very weak in this country. If they were strong, it would be very helpful. You wouldn't have things like that happen where you can say whatever comes to your head. But just so you know, I never interviewed with him in the White House at all. He was never in the Oval Office. We didn't have an interview. I did a quick interview with him a long time ago having to do with an article. But I don't know this man. I guess Sloppy Steve brought him into the White House quite a bit, and it was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job. Okay, who else do you have?
Sir, just to follow up, Mr. President, the meetings now between South Korea and North Korea, the discussion, I was going to ask, are you comfortable that this will remain just about the Olympics? Are you...
Well, I spoke with the president, as you know, with President Moon of South Korea. He thanks me very much for my tough stance, and, you know, for 25 years they haven't been using a tough stance. They've been giving everything. When you look at what Bill Clinton did, and you've seen the famous clip where Bill Clinton wants to give him everything, and where I said years ago with Russer, Meet the Press, many years ago, I talked, I don't think anything's changed. You have to have a certain attitude, and you have to be prepared to do certain things, and I'm totally prepared to do that. But President Moon called me, and we had a great discussion a couple of days ago, and he thanked me very much, and I hope it works out. I very much want to see it work out between the two countries. I'd like to see them getting involved in the Olympics, and maybe things go from there. So I'm behind that 100%. He actually thanked me. He said, and a lot of people have said, a lot of people have written that without my rhetoric and without my tough stance, and it's not just a stance. I mean, this is what has to be done, if it has to be done. They wouldn't be talking about Olympics, that they wouldn't be talking right now.
But they're not also taking the conversation beyond the Olympics while he...
Well, I hope they do. I would love to see them take it beyond the Olympics. We have a very good relationship with South Korea. I would love to see it go far beyond the Olympics. Absolutely. And at the appropriate time, we'll get involved. But I like the idea if they're dealing on the Olympics, that should be between those two countries. Yes.
Mr. President, did you ask the White House counsel to ask Attorney General Sessions not to recuse himself of the Russian investigation?
Proper. The story, by the way, in the Times was way off, or at least off. But everything that I've done is 100% proper. That's what I do, is I do things proper. And, you know, I guess the collusion now is dead, because everyone found that after a year of study, there's been absolutely no collusion. There's been no collusion between us and the Russians. Now, there has been collusion between the DNC and the Russians. Unfortunately, you people don't cover that very much, but the only collusion is between Hillary and the Russians and the DNC and the Russians, and one of those things. Okay, any other questions?
In what way was the New York Times story off?
You'll find out, but the story was off.
Stand by, Jeff Sessions, as your Attorney General.
Yes.
And will Gary Cohn continue to remain as...
He was here. Did you hear the question, Gary? This beautiful hangar that's freezing?
I did not, sir.
He said, will Gary Cohn continue or remain in the administration? I said, I hope so. Now, if he leaves, I'm going to say I'm very happy that he left, okay? All right? Are you happy, Gary? He just has a very big bill. I think he's pretty happy.
Yes, I'm happy. How's that?
Gary, hopefully we'll be staying for a long time. Yes, ma'am.
Just to follow up on the conversations between North Korea and South Korea, are you willing to engage in phone talks with Kim Jong-un right now?
Sure. I always believe in talking.
Do you think that...
Very firm. But I would be, absolutely, I would do that. No problem with that at all.
So no prerequisites to coming to the table and talking with him?
Look, now they're talking Olympics. It's a start. It's a big start. If I I weren't involved, they wouldn't be talking about Olympics right now. They'd be doing no talking, or they'd be much more serious. He knows I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around. Not even a little bit. Not even 1%. He understands that. At the same time, if we can come up with a very peaceful and very good solution, we're working on it with Rex, we're working on it with a lot of people. If something can happen, if something can come out of those talks, that would be a great thing for all of humanity. That would be a great thing for the world. Okay?
President, yes. Do you plan on involving yourself in Republican primaries?
Yes, I'll be very much involved.
On the side of the
That's one of the reasons I can believe my poll numbers have gone way up. You'll have to explain that to me someday. But I will tell you, they've been explaining it to me, but they want me to be involved, and we're going to be very involved. In fact, not only with the Senate, also with the House.
And protecting incumbents, so will you...
Protecting incumbents and whoever I have to protect. Look, we need more Republicans.